Yes, we're in mid-April now, and I'm running very quickly because at the end of the month we're going on holiday, so I'm trying to get in as much as possible, even some things that could have waited, and I'll point them out afterwards. So it's all go here. I've done a lot of sowing. Some of it's at home actually. I've just put in some melon and courgettes, squash at home. So we'll walk down to my upper plot and we can see what we can see, and I'll try and explain. Sometimes I even forget because there's so much pushed in there. Well, this belonged to a plot holder who unfortunately now can't continue, so someone else has taken it over, and there are potatoes. It looks like he's done ridges of potatoes. He's ridged them over. They're covered here. Mine aren't so as pretty as this. He's a good worker. Lovely flat family work here. And he had a pile, that over there you'll see perhaps after, a pile of weeds. He's asking a lot of questions, and he didn't know how to dispose of it. So what I and another plot holder suggested to him, dig a deep hole, I've done it myself, and put all the weeds, the greens in there for it to gradually break down. So he's done the hole, I can see. Over here he's done a neat job, give him his due, as somewhat of beginners, of potatoes. Offered to build me a scarecrow. I had one which disintegrated, so I'm still waiting for that. They also supply me occasionally with coffee grains because it claimed that it's good against slugs and snails and good for the soil. There's a debate on about it. So occasionally I find bags of coffee grains on the chair on my plot. So it'd been moved a few times, and which is my fault because I wanted the space for something else, and it dried up basically. So you win some and you lose some. It's the way it is. I'll try and remember what I've done here. That's why I label things. The broad beans, as you can see, are coming through. In between the broad beans, there's supposed to be chicory seeds, because I thought once that one thing finishes, the broad beans do finish quite quickly, something else will be there. But at the moment I'm not seeing signs of it. What happens with broad beans is that often they get black fly or a chocolate disease. They say nipping the tops helps. I've done that, I do that. You can actually eat the tops of the broad beans. And it's claimed soapy liquid also helps, spraying soapy liquid. It's debatable, I haven't seen it make any difference. And jet washing. I often not jet wash, but spray the black fly off the beans. It's a temporary measure. What I did find last year is that I actually put the broad beans inside the net, and I didn't have those problems. So another plot holder said, "Why are your broad beans so clean?" I said, "Well, I just planted them in there and nothing seems to happen." So I'm thinking that maybe as the broad beans grow higher up to this level, I throw over a net, a light net, and see what happens. Because the greenhouse is getting so full, and you'll see more of it, I've actually sowed my red cabbage, my brassica, the red cabbage, and there's some kale. The seeds are coming through actually here. It's a way of doing it, planting out and growing them. Then gradually I will, as they grow, I'll plant them elsewhere. I'm going to plant them in there, in the cage. So actually you can see it's more distinct, the red cabbage is coming through just here. And there's cauliflower I can see. Oh, here. Hopefully this is the cauliflower. But in between, where the labels are turned that way, I've planted other things, probably mostly lettuce. Actually, I can look here. It's on the. I don't know, to be honest. I have to get my plant net out. I saw it there, and I started to pull it, and then I thought, oh, maybe it's something else that I may have just put in. So I get plant net out. I can't remember what it is. There's something to give me a surprise.
To eat, or it's a weed, do you think?
I thought it was a weed, then I began to stop. Just before you came, I was pulling it. I have to get out plant net and have a look at it because the drip pipes are gradually going in. A garlic thing, somebody popped. There's garlic here, and there's onions over here, and in between I planted again onions for the spring. So I must have planted them in March in between. At the moment they're not showing. Oh, they are here, something peeping through here. Well, it's an onion as well, but I planted them much later in April. But here there's garlic, and in between I just planted onion sets. So there's more I've been putting in. We eat a lot of onions. So I've put in more onions here. Oh, I stir fry them. Yes, we do a lot of stir frying with the chicken, with the or vegetable stir fries, and sometimes I put them in the salad. And my wife gets a distance, so when I do that, she's out of the room. But that's only occasional, and I should be doing that now because I've got a bit of a summer cold. I said that, but I need to thin out these radish, because they're getting quite big actually. The reason the sticks are here is just this week I put in peas. We'll see what happens. I have to water. Over here we got spinach. That's why I love the raised beds. I've been telling people. This broccoli I left. I pulled out the broccoli completely. But I left this, and it's not something I've done really very much, but I thought let it flower, try and collect the seed. It was actually another plot holder that really promoted that and suggested that, and I'm doing that. So I've left it. But I planted sorrel just here. So it won't be showing yet, so it won't show. Yeah, it's just the compost heap.
This is your compost.
Because I dug out the hole, took the compost, and spread it, and what I could get out of it, and moved the compost box this way. I mean, I could put out put it out. This is trying to heat it up. I don't really need these here. But it's just been racing since I come back. So it should be quite hot in, warm. The grass normally, it's supposed to heat it up. And this is to try and get it warm as well. Yeah, so I keep moving them back and forward once they fill up. Yeah. So there's a mix of things over here. I've done something that, I mean, it's a bit dodgy. It should really be the end of April. I've put in Berlotti beans, climbing beans here, and I spread whelk shells. Those white things are whelk shells, because snails will go for young shoots, and hopefully it'll come through. Later I'll water here. And here's sweet pea, even though it says chicory here, sweet pea. And carrots, well, I can see carrots coming through here. I will need to thin them out as well, because really you're supposed to sow them thinly. And there's, again, onions poking through. The onions are trying to ward off the carrot fly, and I have to remind myself. Oh, it's saying spinach almost faintly. Oh, it's coming through. I've never had such good germination so quickly, and I think it's to do with the raised beds. I really think it makes the difference because of the depth. And I have to remind myself what I've done here. Fennel. That's just gone in actually just before you came. So, and the pak choy is coming through. And I think that one, you're going to ask me what a Gretti is. They call it, another name is Sola, which I think is Italian. I saw it and I thought, well, that might be interesting to eat. And my Italian friend will tell me exactly what to do with it. So I've just sowed that here. That's today as well. And then there's the greenhouse. So someone came in the other day. Oh, it's a gentleman who's going to replace me watering here when I go away. And he says, how is it you got such big tomatoes? He says, mine are tiny. Well, I said, I did start them a bit earlier than some people, but they've not been heated with heat pads or grow lights or anything like that. I decided, and this was at home, I decided I'm going to just rely on central heating. It's not my invention. A few people I know do the same, and they are growing strongly. They're really doing well. So in May they'll go out. And cucumbers, so these are cucumbers here. These are Italian. These I've just repotted them. These were just given to me by my Italian friend. Zucchini. He gave them to me, but I repotted them because I saw he had them in little pots. I saw a yellowing here, and I thought they're starving. They haven't got enough room, so I repotted. Yes, these should be Brussels sprouts. Yeah, they are. So I've got two choices. I could try and pot them up. I think I mentioned it, which I normally do, but I haven't got room here. I think I'll show you later. I think I'm just going to plant them in a drill as a nursery bed, and then gradually thin them out, plant them out when they're the right size. Yeah, there's leeks up here. When they're pencil size, a little bit longer, I'll plant them out into, I don't know, 6 inches apart and in holes. You don't have to cover the hole, it just fills in as you water. More tomato plants that I planted much later. Oh, this is cauliflower, this one. A thing about tree cabbage. And I think I mentioned the tree cabbage. I mentioned the tree cabbage doesn't grow a head. You just pick the leaves and it lasts for 3 or 4 years, maybe even more, 4 years. There's more tree cabbage down here that I potted up. These look like, they're called Bet Alpha cucumbers. They're coming through. That's a success. I get the itch and I just have to keep sowing, and so I'll give to people. That's what we do, we swap. It's a struggle. used to have much bigger facilities. And what happened here, the nights get cold, so I close the door. As it gets warmer, I'll leave it open. And then we've got stuff in here, what I mentioned about planting out the trays. There's also cabbage. I hope they're cabbage, the label disappeared. The bigger plants there. Some of them have mats round them. The reason the mats are there, because the cabbage fly will go for the roots. So when I find one, I can see another carpet type thing, collar, we call them brassica collars. I'll put that on. I've started to lay out the drip pipes. I'll connect them at some point when it gets a bit drier. There is my wife's raised bed over there, but there's nothing much new except that I put few potatoes there. Yeah, this is all planted up with potatoes now. It's not as pretty as what you saw over there, but a bit weedy. But what's going to happen anyway is as they come through, I'm going to, and I think I used the term last time, I'm going to hoe up, so it's going to catch the weeds. And if I can, I'm going to try and, I haven't done that before, I'm going to sow in between the ridges. I mean, you could kind of see the ridges. No, they won't come through that quickly. They are coming through. Here's a potato. Absolutely. And more are coming through. Didn't expect that actually. Here, these as well. These will be the early ones. The stinging nettles over there. I've kind of left them. Not only are they good fertilizer, because stinging nettles, my wife wouldn't agree to it, but you can actually make tea from them. She wouldn't. Oh, and that's more spinach. I stir fry it, or my wife likes it boiled. That's basically it. But I stir fry lots of things, even lettuce, if she thinks it's strange. Somewhere in that cage, I didn't say it. Chinese leaf cabbage. Sorry. Which I think you can put it in a salad actually. But anyway. It's up there, it's sowed in a row, we'll see if it comes through. But as I said, down here I'm going to try and sow in between the potatoes a quick crop. I won't sow carrots because there's manure in the ground and they don't like, so they say, they don't like manure. But lettuce and radish, I'll have a go. But maybe I'll wait till they come through, so I can be sure I'm not hitting any potato, though I know where they are. But I can pick some spinach if you want to take some. And it's good actually to take it, because I can see over there it's beginning to flower. Because this is from last year, this spinach. It'll just go to seed. It's what they call goes to seed. Yes, it's from last year. So, I mean, it's all good. It's not that you can't use it. So I just break it. Well, I can use the knife. I've got that. My brother-in-law says he loves spinach, and he said, he's going to try and get more organic stuff. And this is what this is. There's no chemical on this, not even slug pellets. I mean, you can check them. My wife goes through it with a fine tooth comb. but I can see already there's nothing on it. Snails and so. And at the end, we've got cherry trees and plum. And they came, I didn't think it would happen, but a raspberry bush over there, I think, it got moved, and I thought that wouldn't happen, but it's leafing up. The only failure seems to be, is I did put strawberries in between where I put the sticks, but they don't seem to have taken. Oh, yeah. They didn't take it. Oh, there's another one. I can see another one. Those were bought. They were bought, but not potted up. They were bought with their root. And I put seeds, but they didn't take. Maybe it's the soil here. I might get some more. My birthday coming up soon, so maybe I might say, "What do you want?" So I'll say, "Strawberries plant." Yes, I think I mentioned that what was the fire pit, and now there are no fire pits allowed. So I've put in some potatoes. It's a bit of a mess, but I didn't want it left. And the pak choi, these little shoots, I'll point to them. They're coming through. Over there, I can give you some of that if you want. It's wild garlic. We were in Fortnum and Mason, and it sells for a fortune there. And here, you just pick it, and it grows like mad over the fence. So here, it's all here. And I won't even charge you for it. I was just amazed. Oh, I can smell it.
Yeah, don't mind at all.
I have to see. She's done it. Yeah, I have to get more strawberry. It annoys me if something doesn't work. I have to keep trying. Once it comes through, maybe mid-May, end of May, it will look different. And I will be putting those pipes with potatoes that they get affected by blight. I have varieties in here which are supposed to be not affected by blight, so I hope that works well. But anyway, the rain does affect it, cause blight, and I thought of trying drip pipes. I've never done that before. I've got pipes tied against the fence, and if I put crops in between, the crops last year did well with drip pipes, so I might try laying them. Oh, sorry, the robins follow me around. I exercise in the morning outside, and they just sit there, not bothered. One or so, or they go to the bird feeders. Yeah, they're like friends. Well, they are friends. Things are greening up here. The only plot as I walk up is one I pointed out on my previous video. He's got onions, it's just over by that greenhouse there, and garlic. They're looking very well, and I found it interesting that he planted on ridges. Now, people do say, "Oh, I haven't got time to work on an allotment. It's time consuming," but these people tend to come once a week, and they manage. They grow brassica, so it can be done, and you can always ask for someone else to water if needs be. But maybe I think they grow things that don't need so much water, and you don't have to water onions day in and day out, even in a dry period. Here they've, I can see they've done the same. They've planted potatoes. They've done the ridges. Straw, I don't know what they're going to do with this straw, but some people don't hoe up. They cover their potatoes, they put straw on top. And that's perfectly okay. I've not done it, but it doesn't, but yeah, it works. It works for them. I prefer the hoeing up because of it's also exercise. So, I can't say that there's too much going on here, but these are the people that dug the hole. After we suggested they get rid of their weeds in the hole, because otherwise people are asked to take their stuff home. But I also think you can compost weeds, and if he uncovers it, he'll find they've broken down. My guess is these are pears, because they're flowering now. The last row are probably plums, but this is a guess, or from memory. And he's done what I would have liked to have done here, but I don't have that. He's sown his carrots in a big tub. A friend of mine who's sadly no longer here would plant his carrots just in sand, and he would get long, perfect carrots. I don't know what he's got in here, but I wonder if something is coming through. Parsnips, okay. Yeah, well, he asked me to water it, but one of them he did say, pointed and said carrots. They are no dig believers, so they never turn over the soil. He's the same chap that asked me about the tomatoes. How have I got such big tomatoes? I wouldn't knock it, no dig. I think I go in between. On the raised beds, there will definitely be no dig, no turning the soil. And in the cage, which I did do something. This time I brought down a machine, a rotavator, and I turned it over. I thought, compare it, see how things grow having turned over the soil, and compare it to the raised beds, which I don't do anything. I just put mulch on top, and where I pointed out the borlotti beans are, I won't turn that. That's it basically.